Hey everyone, this is Roman Prokopchuk, and this is the Digital Savage Experience podcast. Today I have with me Araks Nalbandyan. Araks is the digital director of digital marketing at 10Web. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Roman, for having me here.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming on. So tell me a little bit about your journey. How did you get to where you are today?
Sure. It's been a long one. Actually, I was talking with a friend yesterday and I realized it's been 10 years since I'm in marketing. And so it's been quite a long one. I started actually doing marketing for a financial firm, for a bank, which is completely different of what I'm doing today. And then I moved to different agencies, worked on different cases. I did have some ups and downs in my career. I guess all of us had, and the most important thing here is to learn from what we do. I started with mainly in social media marketing. Then I moved I was social media marketing manager, and then I moved down from the career ladder to just an SEO specialist. But it was very important for me, so I could learn SEO and I could learn more. On different aspects of marketing, so it can get me to it actually got me to where I am today. And basically, after doing social media marketing, then SEO, then I moved to email marketing, then to leading a team in the agency that we manage different clients on different tasks. It was both SEO, both social media, advertising, and everything there. And then I decided that I would work for agency type of companies for a long while, and I was tired of moving from client to client, and I was interested in working on a product, and I found a product that's close to me, that a product that I believe in because it's very important for me, and that's when I moved to TemWeb. I had a lot of experience working with WordPress websites, and I had a lot of trouble working with WordPress websites. So it was a very logical and very easy decision for me to move to TemWeb because the product was something that I love and that I believe in.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I started in digital marketing out of necessity. I was supposed to go in criminal justice, but
Oh,
the 2008 recession happened and I got an
yeah,
opportunity and I jumped into it. And like you, I started with search engine optimization. So that's kind of my pillar of expertise. But then I saw obviously the internet evolving and how all these
yeah,
different things collaborated and connected and added value to each other in a ecosystem. And at that time, social media was still in its infancy, but I saw the value of it, both paid and organic social. So started learning and becoming an expert in that and other
yeah,
things like, paid search, email marketing, content strategy, and really try to be as well versed as possible. So I think everyone is an expert in, that one or two things they start out with, or they build
yeah.
out, but they should know the ecosystem around that so they understand how things function.
Yeah, I completely agree because in marketing, it's you can't do one thing and one field of the marketing and believe that you can reach a lot of things for a company doing that one thing. Usually, everything is interconnecting. SEO, SMM, advertising, everything is interconnected. So you need to know how it all works together.
Yeah, I agree. So what motivates you to succeed? Obviously, those motivations may have changed over time, but what currently motivates you to succeed?
Basically, I think a lot of things have changed during the years, as you said, but the main thing that has been since the beginning and still here, in my opinion, is the thing that I can bring value and that I believe in the things that I do and I can bring value and I can learn a lot of things. I think I've never stopped learning new things and I never want to stop learning new things. So it's always exciting and always motivating to learn new things, to practice new things, and to bring value.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I often say that complacency is the death of innovation. So if you stop learning, you become complacent. I've met
For
people
sure.
where they're stuck kind of in their way in terms of digital marketing strategy, that they do things that they did maybe, 6, 7, 8 years ago and
Yeah.
don't want to adapt or learn new things. But I think it's important to be an expert in digital marketing in terms of like traditional strategies, but then you have to also apply emerging technologies and platforms and
For
figure out
sure.
how you can reach the audiences that your clients are looking to market to. Like an example, right now I jumped on Clubhouse. It has a lot of potential,
Yeah.
obviously, voice to
Same.
voice, hosting a lot of rooms, applied for a club. Actually, I have another podcast that started from Clubhouse. I met two people and we started moderating rooms together, and we created a podcast for podcasters, talking about real-time news and,
Sounds interesting.
strategies. Yeah. So it's like one of those things that you should always test. I mean, same thing happened to me with TikTok. I didn't think the audience was, what matched clients or myself. But then I got on, and I'm a foster parent in my personal life, sharing, my experiences in
Yeah.
foster care. And some of the videos got, 100, 150,000 views naturally. And with the time investment of, 2 to 3 minutes to make the video and edit
Yeah.
it. So 2 to 3 minutes invested for 150,000 views. And if you look at the analytics, that's like 1,000 something hours watched. So I would encourage people to try things, at least try them. You don't know the potential of it. And if the
Yeah.
investment is very low, why not try it? It can, exponentially add a new revenue stream to your business or another way to reach your target audience.
Completely agree. For example, if we take the Clubhouse thing, like it's about a month, right, as it popped out, and it has been evolving so fast, and you need to keep going through the time and just be quick and start doing things there to in order to be able to get your name out there, your company's name out there, and you always need to try new things. And it's always easy because when easy in the term that when it's a new thing, you have more chances to get more exposure there. Just as you said with TikTok and with now Clubhouse, it's a great example.
Yeah, and new features. So like Instagram Reels, they
Yeah,
came out to combat TikTok, just like Stories came out to deal with Snapchat. So that
yeah,
feature specifically, they want adoption, and they want content creators to add obviously short form video to that feature. So when they get enough videos and enough people consuming and creating, that organic reach is going to get capped again, like with Instagram stories.
yeah.
So it's important to be an
Agreed.
early adapter and take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, completely agree with you.
So, what's one thing that you may have seen as a weakness in yourself in the past that you've turned around and utilized as a strength today?
Probably the thing was that at the beginning of my career, I always was scared to do something that I wasn't 100% good at. And in my opinion, I wasn't 100% good at. But I learned to start doing something because you may think that you know a lot of things, but when you start doing it, it turns out that you actually don't know a lot of things. And maybe you think that you don't know something, but you start doing it, you're learning the process, and you get a lot of things out of it. So I just made myself like go for it, even if I think that I know about it for about 50-60%, but it just go for it and just learning the process. And sure, I've made some errors in the process, but it gives you so much knowledge that it helps you a lot in the future. So that's scary thing to go somewhere that you don't know 100% what's going to go, but it's also very interesting.
Yeah, and that's the hardest kind of step, to convince yourself to do something, because if it's new, like human
Yeah,
nature, you want to be a creature of habit. If something is comfortable, you want to stay in there, you don't want to kind of rock the boat. And then when you want to do
yeah,
something new, learn something new, start a business, maybe go into a new role, you start kind of second guessing yourself, and what if this, what if that? But that first step is getting out of your own head, and oftentimes that scary thing becomes less scary as you do it, and you
yeah.
become more capable and are able to handle more than you thought you would be.
Yeah, and usually every time you take such risks and do things that are out of your comfort zone, it always ends you up in a better place, in way better place than you can expect. So it's always a good thing. It's scary, but it's good.
Yeah, I agree. And even if it's some kind of career endeavor or whatever, and it maybe fails or doesn't work out the way you want it to, as long as you take something out of it and it's a learning
Yeah,
experience, it's never really a failure.
yes, for sure.
So, what's one piece of advice you can leave with the audience, personal or professional?
I guess my biggest advice will be I always give it to our new employees of the team or just people I like mentor is that especially in the beginning of your career, go for jobs that give you knowledge rather than go for money because I know they can be like you can get offers that offer you a lot of money, but you won't have the mentorship, you won't have like the environment that will help you to grow. So just go for the job that it gives you a lot of knowledge and a lot of connections, a lot of like right experience of work at the beginning of your career, so you can then utilize it and get more money at the end.
Yeah, and I mean, I when I hire, I look at experience over kind of a degree because I've
Yeah,
spoken at universities before where they're like seniors about to graduate with like a digital marketing degree, and they completely do not understand like the marketplace or the landscape or how agencies work. So it's one thing to learn something from a book, it's another thing to learn something in a real world scenario and
yeah,
have
for
kind of
sure.
like behind the scenes and in the trenches experience, because in real life things don't go perfectly. So in terms of accounts, campaigns, client relationships, things happen, and then you learn techniques, you learn strategies, both in digital marketing, and you develop emotional IQ and emotional empathy, how to deal with clients, how to react to certain
For sure.
situations, how to mentor, team members, how to figure out the best way to utilize team members and help them grow. So all of that is kind of developed over time in those kind of high pressure situations. And if all you have is a degree, really, I mean, I look at it and I interview and have conversations like this. So if I can have a conversation and I learn more about the person, I value that real world experience. And like you said, beginning of your career, if you want to be an expert, you can jump around every maybe year, every 6 months to a year,
Yeah.
and really get that experience in all those roles, become a well-rounded person and figure out what your end goal is. Maybe it's to have, a senior role, a senior leadership role, or maybe it's to be a freelancer, a digital nomad, or found your own agency. So you can really figure that out as you gain that experience quickly.
Yeah, because even if you don't have that experience, as you said, if you don't jump from one field, like one aspect into the other, you will never know which one is more close to you and which one you like most. So it's a thing that you're like when you choose a career, what you're going to do. It's mostly what you want to choose something that you're going to do for many years. So at the beginning of it, you need to juggle a bit to understand what is yours, what are you are ready to do for a long amount of time and not get bored of it and always stay excited about it.
Yeah, I agree. So I really appreciate you stopping by today. Can you let the audience know how they can find you?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me. It was very nice chatting with you. They can always find me on LinkedIn with my name. It's Araks Nalbandyan, or they can also find me on Clubhouse, as we just mentioned. It's RxN. We're going to have a lot of talks there, and we've applied for a club as well. So I'll be happy to chat with them.
Awesome. Thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you too.